It's like, what is even the point? No matter where Verstappen starts on the grid, he's gonna win. Hello everyone. It is time for the Saudi Arabian GP. I am so interested to see what happens at this one. There's so much intrigue with Charles and Verstappen starting far back. There's a lot of tire strategy things. There might be safety cars, red flags, so we'll see what happens. I obviously didn't do a quali watch along this time. I'm doing shorts instead for quali, so check those out if you haven't seen them yet. For this race, my predictions are, I had them different coming into this race weekend, but I think it's Checo's to lose now. I think Fernando will come second, and I think Carlos will come third. I think it's going to be tough for Max and Charles to come through from the back, as much as I think it is possible that Max might come into the front. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then my other predictions, I think that there is going to be no red flag in this race. That is a hot take prediction for this track. I thought that 2 drivers were going to get reprimands because of interfering in qualifying and stuff. I haven't heard anything about that. So I'll have to see if that prediction came true or not. My third prediction was Max was going to win by more than 15 seconds, but that's not going to happen now. Although it could. You never know. Crazier things have happened with that man. Funniest thing though is like, everyone keeps mentioning, oh, Fernando Alonso went from 15th on the grid before, and then they forget to mention that was literally crashgate, and that's why he won that race. So it's pretty tough to win from that far back on a street track. Okay, so who's got on softs here? Hamilton went on hards? Is he crazy? And Leclerc's on softs, and Norris is on softs. That is weird. I am confused.
And in the F2 races, the support races, Martin, that inside line that Alonso's got has paid dividends at the start.
F2 is so good this year. I really worry for a lot of the drivers on the grid who are like if anyone doesn't perform at all, a new F2 driver is going to come in. But even if some people are just kind of like mediocre, I wonder if teams are going to replace them with an F2 driver, because the grid is so stacked this year. You have so many really good drivers. Although Pourchaire and Martins both had a terrible time today. I'm actually watching this one live for once because it's on at 10 a.m. Vancouver time, which is wild. This track makes me so nervous. And I know for sure turn 22 is going to catch someone out at some point, because so many F2 drivers were spinning on that corner. And the F1 drivers are like still don't seem to be quite used to this new track. So we'll see what happens. Who is Is that Sergio who's smoking like that? It's lights out and away we go.
I think Alonso got a slightly better start. Perez is trying to come across and cut him off, but I don't think
Fernando's got it.
Alonso into turn 1 in
Good
the
job,
lead.
Fernando. Oh, Fernando.
Start from Fernando Alonso, and somebody has lost a bit of bodywork at the back.
Oh,
I think it's one of the
Lando.
drivers, which could well be Oscar Piastri.
Oh no. Oh, Piastri's wing is destroyed. Oh no, that's too bad for him. Oh, Stroll! Wow.
Alonso's been noted for incorrect starting position.
Oh no! Oh, please don't be that. But that's usually an automatic penalty. They've got a lot of sensors for that. Leclerc's already in 9th. Verstappen hasn't moved. Oh, if that screws Alonso out of a win, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Down the inside goes Oscar Piastri.
He's gonna have to pit though. And he's on hards now.
The FIA stewards have given a 5-second time penalty for Fernando Alonso.
Oh no! Oh, Fernando, no! Oh, that sucks. I'm so disappointed. Oh man, he got ahead of himself, I think. Verstappen's up to 13. DRS enabled.
In the pits as well, I'm here.
Uh-oh.
Unbelievably, another front wing, guys.
Oh! Perez got him. Perez, new race leader. Ooh, dramatic. Okay, it's Perez's to lose now. Oh, he's way too far. Oh, Fernando. Oh, that is... Oh my god. Oh, Fernando. But you can't... Once you've kind of done that, you can't really change it. You can't adjust it. So he probably knew as soon as he did it, it was like, oh, shoot.
Now he's going to be pinned up against the wall.
Oh, wow. It's just a tiny little nudge. It might be kind of smart that Charles is the only one on softs, so he can do the an undercut. As long as he doesn't pit behind someone slow. Oh, there's that 22, 23. Oh, Charles is going for it on.
Has he managed to get past Pierre Gasly?
Oh, Charles got him. Good job, Charles. Oh, 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 wow. Verstappen has gotten both of the Haas's. He's got Joe now, so he's in the points already. We'll see how many laps it takes him to catch up to Gasly now.
But plan A, definitely plan A.
Yeah, I'm trying, mate. I'm trying.
He sounds disappointed. Yeah, he's probably mad at himself. Verstappen's already got 1 second up to Gasly, so he'll be in DRS range right now. Leclerc's got to get past Hamilton here. Leclerc is already almost at Sainz.
Fernando Alonso has a decent gap of nearly 5 seconds over George
Okay,
Russell.
so maybe that 5-second penalty, like, that'll destroy his ability to win the race, but at least it won't take away his podium. So I think Verstappen still has a chance at a podium here for sure, but Perez is... We'll see. Bottas is pitting. I think Leclerc's lost his tires because he hasn't made any ground on Ocon. Oh, Perez has gotten out of Alonso's DRS range.
So, Fernando, the hard is not looking great so far, so we'll be looking at extending.
Oh, and yeah, the hard is not great. I wonder why that is. Oh, maybe it's because it's the C2. That tire sucks. Lewis is not letting him past. But you'll get him on the straight here for sure.
Here we go. Can Lewis Hamilton fight off Max Verstappen? No, he can't. Verstappen just breezes
That was
past.
too easy. Okay, Leclerc has gotten up to Ocon now. Oh, Tsunoda's actually doing a decent job. Oh, that's because Joe and Hulk are in the pit. I was like... I feel like Charles might be trying to go long on these softs, and then he'll do the soft medium. Oh, Sainz is boxing. What's the window he's trying to get in? Maybe ahead of K-Mag? Maybe ahead of Tsunoda. Oh, Stroll's pitting. Oh, did Sainz pull a fast one on him? Might have.
Been at level pegging with Carlos Sainz despite the softer compound, so that tyre is working.
Yeah, I think they're going soft medium. Real question is how much faster than Leclerc's Verstappen? Gasly's in the pits. Maybe. Ferrari have learned their lesson about going on the C2s. Meanwhile, Perez is just driving off into the distance. Okay, now Sainz is boxing. Maybe Ferrari weren't going to be smart and avoid the C2s. Okay, he is coming in. Okay, we'll see how this goes for them this time. I wonder if they're seeing how he'll be doing on the hard so that they can make that call for Charles.
Sainz is out of the pit lane. Rather get the feeling by extending Sainz's first stint for an extra lap or two longer.
They dummied him
he's
again.
come out ahead of Lance Stroll.
Oh my god. Okay, Charles pitting now. Alright, are they putting the C2s or the mediums on Charles? And they're doing hards, I think. 2.1. Wow, good one. Leclerc got Stroll as well, but not Sainz. I bet you the Red Bulls are both going to do soft or medium soft. Someone just went wide at a turn. Oh, is this going to screw Stroll?
Lance, stop the car. Lance, stop the car. Stop on track.
Oh my god. What happened to Stroll? Oh, the screwed Ferrari! Oh, this sucks. Tires overheated. I'm surprised the top teams haven't... Oh, Sergio's boxing. Oh, this sucks. I got ahead of Leclerc. Why is it always Red Bull that benefits? Oh, so unfair. Tsunoda's doing really well. Does it catch on fire?
Nothing untoward at this moment.
Yeah, I think this season, it's honestly starting to look like Red Bull's going to run away with it. But even them, it's going to come down to reliability. Verstappen's winning this race now. I should have kept my podium prediction the same that I had it before the weekend, which was the same as last time, a Verstappen, Perez, Alonso. Yeah, because Verstappen's, he'll just pass Russell, he'll pass Alonso, and then it'll be him and Perez, and then he'll pass Perez, and it'll be the same. It's just so stupid. It always benefits them. Oh, here comes Norris. Has to pit again. I'm so irritated.
And try to push from safety car line 1 for Hamilton. He just beat it.
Xavi, you need to tell me that before.
Copy.
Okay.
No, but come on.
Oh, we got a good jump there. Oh, the Alpines!
No DRS for Verstappen for the first 2 laps.
That's not even gonna
after this
matter.
restart, but quite frankly, he doesn't need it.
No.
Look at that pace and look how he's getting closer,
Jesus.
closer, but not quite close enough.
Oh, Hamilton got science. So it probably wouldn't have mattered if Leclerc got ahead of Hamilton at that pit.
Didn't quite have enough straight to do it into turn 1, but look at him out of the corner
Yeah,
here.
smart. Switch back. It's like, what is even the point? No matter where Verstappen starts on the grid, he's gonna win. DNFs are the only way that anyone's ever gonna be able to stop him. Okay, how many laps from here is it gonna take Verstappen to get into the lead? I think he'll get Russell and Alonso within the next 3 laps, so lap 26, and then he'll get Perez by lap 30.
There it goes. And he just breezes down the inside. Well, that looked like F1 against F2.
I'm actually feeling really mad right now. I think I just have to lower my expectations for this season, I think. Because coming into it, I was like, oh, the Red Bulls are going to be suffering from the penalty, but that'll be later in this season. So I just got to be excited for the battle for third. It isn't even fair. I guess Red Bull just decided, okay, we just have to nail our car for the first half of the year. And then once the penalties really start to hurt us, like, hope that we've had enough of an advantage that the other teams can't catch up. Okay, yeah, so Verstappen got ahead of them by 25, so a lap earlier than I thought. Now, Perez isn't going to just let Verstappen pass, though.
Just waiting for the safety car, has made it into that top 10 and looking
Good
like
job,
he can hold
Tsunoda.
on to that position actually.
I'm curious what the interval is
Oh
between...
my god, brake failure.
What? What is he going to do? He can't... What is going on? Why didn't he go in the pits then? I'm very confused about that. Maybe he was worried that he couldn't slow down enough to go in the... But that doesn't make sense. He slowed down for that corner. I'm very confused. Albon's like not really attempting corners. Is he going to come in now? Yeah, he's pitting now. He's retiring. Poor Alex. Yeah, Ferrari hasn't been able to do anything on these hards, as expected. I guess no one wanted to do the medium soft, though. Maybe the mediums just couldn't last. There's another safety car, Verstappen will win, but I feel like Perez might be able to hang on here. And then Alonso's far behind Verstappen, but he's got a bit of a gap to Russell, so we'll see. I wonder if Hamilton's tires are starting to fall off a little bit. He hasn't been able to make much ground on Russell. I'm worried now that if this continues, with Red Bull being so far ahead, F1's going to start to suffer. Because we saw in the period of Mercedes dominance that, like, viewership started to go down. And, like, we got a huge influx of viewers from the 2021 season. And it's going to decrease more and more every year that continues, because people don't want to see the same team winning over and over and over. Unless Perez and Verstappen happen to have a battle. But, like, I just don't think that Perez is good enough to really put up a fight to Verstappen, at least on races that aren't a street track. But I guess we'll just have to see how the year goes and how other teams develop their car.
They're a second a lap faster, at least a second a lap faster than their closest 3 pursuers, and 2 seconds faster than many in the midfield.
Jesus. That's not something that you could get back in a season. Yeah, and the fact that Ferrari hasn't been as good as expected in this race too, so I'm worried that they're going to fall to 4th.
Yeah, we highlight these seasons.
Yep. He pitted like a lap or two too early. Ugh, I'm so mad. Sometimes... This is going to be an unhinged comment. Sometimes I wonder, like, am I living in my personal hell right now and don't even know? Did I die 5 years ago and not know? and I became an F1 only to have all of the drivers I cheer for constantly suffer. Yeah, Verstappen is putting a little bit of a dent into Perez, but it's only been like a 10th a lap, so I think Perez should be able to hold on here maybe. Okay, yeah, so this season it's going to be a battle between Perez and Verstappen, because they'll be tied after this race if it stays like this. Verstappen took 3/10 on him this lap. Yeah, so it's going to be a battle between those two for the championship, so it's going to be, yeah, who's going to come second? Is he retiring? Going for the softs. It'd be funny to me if Alfa Romeo just keep taking the fastest lap when they're outside the points. just for shits and gigs. It seems like, yeah, Red Bull are a second up. And then the Aston Martins, the Mercedes, and the Ferraris all have pretty equivalent race pace. And then it's kind of everyone else behind them. Although it looks like the Alpines have a little bit more race pace than everyone else. So it's going to be those 5 teams that are always going to be in the points. And we still don't know what McLaren's race pace is really, because they keep having reliability issues. Oh, it's so funny.
I feel like the Manshaft is running a bit rough.
Oh, he's lost a lot on Perez that lap. Oh, Perez went off there. Whoops. Oh, neither did. They both did the same thing. Verstappen's lost half a second on Perez this lap. Does he have an issue? Did they not manage to fix his problem? Oh, he's getting Sargent. Good one, Joe. Verstappen radio.
It makes like a weird noise in high speed.
Yeah, this is like, yeah. The reliability is the only thing that could get in the way of Red Bull winning. I gained that all back on Perez. Does Perez have an issue? Tsunoda's doing a really good job here to stay in this 10th spot. It's been a really good drive for him. Yeah, I don't know how good this season's gonna be, honestly. Because, I mean, if the Astons, the Mercedes, and the Ferraris all have similar race pace, like, they're not gonna be able to get ahead of each other. It's all gonna be strategy based.
As Logan Sargent under pressure from Nick de Vries.
Oh, Jesus. And I think he might get got by Lando as well. Or is he so draggy? Oh. Wow.
Okay, target 32.6 plus 0.4.
Is Max doing the same?
Max's last lap, 32.6.
I mean, so why you tell me 33.0?
He's feeling suspicious there.
Yeah, I would be too. What a boring race this ended up being. That safety car took all of the air out of it, because it would have been way more interesting if Max would have had to pass Charles. But he was able to pass him because of that safety car, and so it just, like, nothing happened. Sometimes the safety car adds a lot, and sometimes it taketh away.
Cracking battle, but it is for 15th, 16th, and 17th, sadly.
Yeah, it's been the only battles. Please, nothing else happen. So if anything happens, then Verstappen will win. Come on, Tsunoda.
Oh, as we see the two McLarens going well to wheel here. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri.
They're fighting each other.
What McLaren can't afford is a third broken front wing this evening.
What's the fastest lap?
We are not concerned about that at the moment, Max.
Yeah, but I am.
Is Magnussen going to try down the inside? Yes, he is. Are they both going to lock up?
Oh.
Yes, they do. Kevin Magnussen, is he going to hold on to 10th place? Only just.
Oh, darn. Poor Yuki. Oh, Yuki. Aww. So I think Ferrari would have come 4th and 5th if they hadn't have screwed up with the pitting.
Could be a possible 5-second penalty for Alonso into the race. Gap 4.5.
What?
The only thing I can think of on Alonso is the jack touched the car, the rear jack.
Message has got through to Lando Norris, who is not making it difficult for Oscar Piastri whatsoever. He concedes 16th place to him.
I wonder why they did that. Let Piastri try and get past Sargent? Or just because Oscar deserves to have the higher placement because of his qualifying? I don't know. It's interesting. Well, and Perez got even more of a distance on Verstappen.
Is he getting a penalty or not? I'm pushing like a bad man at the moment.
Just keep pushing like a madman.
I'm keeping an eye on Verstappen's sector times.
Oh, he just went purple. Can you imagine he crashes because he's going for fastest lap point? Good job, Sergio. And Max, does he get... Yeah, he got fastest lap. Oh, darn. So he has He has the championship lead now. Alonso, good job.
Has now sealed his
Oh, good job, Fernando.
Formula One.
Alpines both got points. Magnussen will get points. Good job, Haas. Poor Tsunoda. Oh, that's disappointing for him. So Piastri got Sargent at some point. Well, what a disappointing race that was. That was a really quick race, though. An hour and a half?
Wicked.
Well deserved, though, after he got screwed last year. This is going to be so interesting, because if there is a battle between Perez and Verstappen for the championship, that'll be fascinating. Good one, Sergio. Fernando will just keep getting third.
The one person not smiling there was Jos Verstappen.
Yeah.
Obviously thinks second place for his son is not something to be smiled
Oh,
at.
fuck you, Jos. Max doesn't... He looks extremely pale. Is he okay? Because he was sick last week, so maybe he still hasn't quite recovered. I don't know. So Alonso was 20 seconds back of Verstappen. Or no, that's the gap. So he's 15. And then Russell was another 5 behind that. Another question is, how long will it take Sergio to pass Daniel for race wins? Which is a concept that would be wild looking back in 2018 when Sergio still didn't have a race win.
I would have caught up. It made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it made it easier. So he might have gained like 1 spot because of that safety car, but just like get killed the Ferraris. They have no luck. No luck at all. At least Charles got through the race. At least he got some points. So Charles got 6 points. Carlos 8. Yeah, I guess Mercedes second on the constructors because Stroll had reliability issues. So like Mercedes seems to be the most reliable car. At least they were last year. So I mean, if they manage to place every single race, then they might have a chance at second in the constructors. Mexico! We don't get the Dutch one this week. It's cool that they get the team to go above in the balcony. That's kind of neat. Although they don't get to yell down at their team, which kind of sucks. I feel like I barely said anything the entire second half of that race. I'm worried for this season now because it seems like the Aston Martin is the second fastest race car, but their quali seems to be a little bit more of a struggle. So every single race, it seems like it's going to be Red Bulls at the front, so they'll speed off into the distance. The Astons will be a little bit behind, so they'll fight their way through the Mercs and the Ferraris. And then the Mercs and the Ferraris kind of just depends on safety cars and where they qualify as to where they finish because they seem to have identical race pace. So it's going to be tire differentials that'll be the only reason that they actually have a battle. Alonso got a 10-second penalty. Russell got a podium. Oh, so the front jack touching the car. Oh, man. That sucks for him. Yeah, they just updated it. Wow. Give the trophy to Russell. I wonder what they do in that situation. Does the team do it or does like Fernando go over and hand it off? Valtteri was the only car to get lapped though. Because last year, a lot of teams were getting lapped. The teams are closer in race pace with each other, but not with Red Bull. All right, I guess I'll exit out there. So, yeah, I mean, we all kind of expected that Max would come through the field. It would have been a little bit more interesting if that safety car didn't happen when it did, though, but I still think that he probably would have ended up where he ended up. It just kind of took away some of those overtakes that he would have had to make to do it. But yeah, definitely the worst Saudi GP so far. It was just a procession after that safety car. Like, since all the teams were too similar in terms of race pace, everyone just kind of got outside of DRS range and hung around at the same spot the whole race, so it got pretty boring there. Disappointed for the Ferraris, who got completely shafted by the safety car. They actually made good strategy calls for once, and they got no luck, so it never ends for them. But they do have good quali pace, so I think Charles, going into next race, now that he hopefully shouldn't have any engine penalties or, fingers crossed, no reliability issues, that he'll be able to get a podium next week in Australia would be the hope. Aston Martin, Alonso just made, Alonso made a mistake with the the grid box, but then that caused him to get that second penalty because he wouldn't have had to serve that penalty if he didn't do that. So the teams have to really like sort out what's happening with the with serving penalties, because Esteban had an issue with it last week, and now Aston Martin team screwed it up as well. Mercedes, as much as they're complaining about how shit they are still in the battle for second, and they seem to be the most reliable. And so as long as that continues this year, if they stick out consistently putting in top 5 finishes week after week, they could still get second in the championship. And good for George for getting third. Interesting that he seemed to have the pace on Hamilton this weekend. We'll see if that continues this year or not. I'm starting to wonder if Lewis will start to lose motivation, because last year it seemed like he was motivated to get that car back up to the front, but now it just looks like the car is similar, but there's no way that any of them can make up that gap to Red Bull. And so it's like he's going to be like, what am I even doing here? I can't compete for wins. And so that'll be interesting because he still hasn't signed a contract for next year. So we'll see what happens this year with him. Like, I was thinking that, he'll stick around for forever, but I think it's becoming pretty clear that Red Bull are so far ahead, it's going to be tough for any team to catch them before the next set of engine regulation changes. And does Lewis want to stick around for that? If he's not going to be winning, is he going to want to keep doing it? Because the only reason he seems to be sticking around now is for that 8th world drivers. All right, who else have I talked about? Like Stroll having an issue. Initially, I was very suspicious. So I was like, is this another crashgate happening? But it was weird that they called a safety car there too, because he was like barely outside of the like on track. So I guess they call it if they are still on track, even though he wasn't really on track. But yeah, that just took all the air out of it. I'm sure Lance was trying to get off because he knew that would benefit Red Bull. Yeah, I'm curious to find out what the issue was there. The Alpines finished about where they are. They seem to be kind of in no man's land behind. I posted this on Twitter, but I have like Red Bull miles ahead of everyone. And then Aston Martin, Ferrari, and Mercedes are all quite close. And then there's a little bit of a gap. And then you have Alpine, and then you have quite a big gap to like literally everyone else. And so it's going to be those top 5 teams that are always going to finish in the points unless one of them has a reliability issue and falls out. And then it's going to be those other 5 teams all battling for like one spot. And so this time it was the Haas that got it. So good job to K-Meg for getting that. McLaren had another absolute stinker because they both lost front wings on the first lap. That was so... It's really comical at this point. And I feel bad for the drivers, but I don't feel bad for McLaren at all. And I'm just kind of happy for Daniel that he got out when he did. And hopefully now everyone's kind of seeing that, oh, no, it's the car that's the problem. It wasn't Daniel at all. Because before you were kind of thinking like, oh, Daniel's falling off because Lando's able to handle it. But now not even Lando can seem to handle it. So you're kind of like, okay, it's the car that's the problem. And I think because they brought Oscar in, who doesn't have any experience developing a car, I think it's going to make them suffer even more, because Daniel at least came in with all of this knowledge of what makes a car quick, and they can't really utilize that anymore with Oscar in the car. So it's just like they should have listened to Daniel instead of making him the scapegoat. A little bum for Yuki that he wasn't able to hang on to that 10th spot. I think it's going to be tough for them to be in a position to get points, because I think they are the slowest car. So that might be one of their few chances this year that they might have to get points. But at least Yuki seems to be doing a good job so far, and I hope that if he can continue this year, that AlphaTauri might give him a chance at another year in that car. It's not looking good for De Vries so far. He has not impressed at all, which is kind of what I was expecting, because I don't really rate him as a driver. That was the race. I think my overall thoughts are just that I need to adjust my expectations to what I assume everyone's expectations were during the Mercedes dominance era, which is the 2 Red Bull drivers are going to be the only 2 battling for race wins week after week. And as long as both of them are in the race and don't DNF, then they're going to be finishing 1-2. And so it's a matter of who is going to be finishing 3rd every week. And so that's kind of what I have to hope for. So I guess the drivers that I will be cheering for to get that 3rd place would be Alonso and Leclerc. Those would be the ones that I would be kind of cheering for this year. Yeah, just disappointed. Sometimes street tracks are like that. You don't always get worldies there, and it kind of shows that Saudi isn't a worldie of a track. It is very dependent on safety cars. Check out my quali reaction videos if you haven't seen those, and give me a like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more of these reactions. The subscribes really help because I'm trying to get to that 1,000. It's taken a long time, and the fact that these races haven't been super competitive these last 2 years, it's making it rough. I wish I would have started during the 2021 season, but oh well, what can you do? So see you guys around.